Hello everyone and welcome to PaxAriaGaming. This is episode 12 of Code Vein 2. We're starting out in the upper prison area where we ended the last episode.
Welcome back.
We are in Insula Carcere, hunting for Zenon, or Zenon. And we will find him in this episode. Even though this is the start of his quest, he does not make an appearance in the last episode. I mean, the last episode was the start of his quest, but he did not make an appearance. He will in this episode. We will finish working our way through this prison.
My strength is boundless.
Once we do that, once we complete that, and we meet up with Zenon, like all of the other heroes, he's going to send us on some mini quests in order to get the item that we need to unlock his, to release his cocoon. His are a little bit more straightforward than some of the other ones. And there are some incredibly tough enemies in this episode, at least from my experience.
Can't go toe to toe.
Okay, I guess he wasn't close enough. I know you can hit him through the wall, but I guess he wasn't close enough. Yeah, based on great, he's like one of these guys from one of the final field bosses we fought in the last episode. Just relentless. And even if you block, he's got it. He's building up this affliction on me unless I give it a chance to sort of go down, but he just never lets up. And through the magic of editing, of course, you're not going to see the other 15 times I got here and fought him and got beat. just so you know. He's got a mean golf swing. You end up using so much of your resources on one of these guys.
We cannot have you dying.
And of course, we have Lavinia, who's giving us a lot of motivational speak as we're getting our asses kicked by this guy. So yeah, that was not my first attempt, just in case you're wondering. And then the last, I think there were 2 of them that we faced in the last episode. In this episode, I think there's 2 or 3 of them that we'll face. But we seem to get a little bit better at fighting them too, so I guess that's a good thing. And sometimes you can see the enemy through these little glass enclosures. The ones with the runes on the doors will not open. So if you see something inside, I'm not sure how you actually get to it because those doors never open. Okay, well he walked right into that, but I still took a lot of chip damage. Yeah, this enemy type, we fought him before. He's tanky, but much more reasonable than that last guy. His moves are a little bit slower. The jump moves you can dodge. And like everywhere else in the game, there's plenty of loot, which I find interesting. I mean, there's the game. One thing about the game is it's incredibly generous with loot. Now, you don't have to pick it all up if you don't want to. I'm one of these people that, you know, just can't pass up a shiny object. So in this case, the shiny object in the middle is really what we want. But that enemy there, there's one straight ahead. There's an enemy to the left. There's a door to the left. There's an enemy to the right, and a door to the right. Actually, yeah, and a door to the right. The door to the right leads to the next mistal. And then the door beyond this container off to the left leads to outside area. We'll be dealing with all of them. This is a lightning-based boss, but when he moves, he leaves a trail of wind behind him that also injures you. Again, this is not our first time through here, so you'll be wondering, well, you got him the first time. No, this is not my first time. Got a prismatic laser. I don't know about that. I guess it depends on how strong it is. We'll go through the left side. There was an enemy out here that I ended up killing. You see his blood splattered all over the wall. You got a squid head and one of the tough enemies. And the hope is that they come at you one at a time. Let's see if we can take the squid one out before the other one notices. Yep, good. That was the best possible outcome there. Okay, we switch to this weapon because it does more damage. And just looking around, make sure there's nothing else that can bother us. It's just, thank you, Lavinia. I've gotten a little bit better at blocking. A little bit better. I was trying to get the bequeath forme off and he got me. I missed it. I feel horrible when I miss those. See, and his combos are just outrageous. And it seems like every time you heal, he gets a good hit in just to take half of the heal that you just used away. There are a couple of enemies like that. Like, as soon as you heal, you get hit. Okay, finally got the bequeath for him. Yeah. Yeah, I realize that. Ouch. Yeah, the reason I would rather have a summons who's actually present instead of Lavinia who just does the mind speak thing. Craig does that too later on, and I mean you can go without a summons as well. But the reason is because they never stop aggroing on you. Whereas if there's a summons, they sometimes will aggro on the summons. Like if I move far enough away and my summons is attacking him, then you know they can sort of take him on, give me a chance to heal, get my act together. But I guess the game, you know, it's interesting because the game, you start off with Lou, and you get all these other different partners, which you can choose to use or not. Sometimes the game forces you to use them, depending on the mission or the quest. But you're not required to use a summons in all of the game. I can't say in any part, because there are parts where you are required to do so. But once you get used to it, then playing without a summons just makes everything feel so much more difficult. I mean, there are tons of games where you don't have summons that you can use, so, you know, you definitely get used to it. And as you view this, I've actually completed the game. I've gotten the ending and the true ending. That's my haze from me dying. I won't spoil the two different kinds of endings. You'll see them. But at the same time that I'm doing the editing to get this posted, my normal schedule is Tuesday and Friday. But I'm going to add a third day. So it'll be Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday uploads. The Thursday upload will be Crimson Desert, and the Tuesday, Sunday uploads will be Code Vein until Code Vein is done. There's probably like 4, maybe 5 more episodes of Code Vein. But since I'm currently playing Crimson Desert, I didn't want to let that get too far away in terms of me putting content up for that. And it's an incredibly long game. I mean, it's like a 100-hour game. Code Vein is, if you do all the other subparts, it's pretty chunky. It's not a short game. When it first started, I thought there were only 3 heroes. I thought it was going to be a relatively short game. It turns out there are 5 heroes, and for 3 of those heroes, you can go back and do time shift quests as well. That will get you the true ending. If you don't do the time shifts, you won't get the true ending. And then there's an ending after the true ending. So basically there are 3 endings. But I enjoyed all of it. So I'm not going to complain about it. I think it's a game that actually gets better as you play on. You know, starting out, I was like, I'm not sure about this, and you know, but once you get used to the controls and you find the weapon system that you like, because I thought I would be playing as a mage, which is my normal sort of thing in these kinds of games, but there are ways to play ranged in this game. I got the Statesman bow. And before this episode is out, you'll see me using the bayonet, which I'll be using from that point on. I'll still use my dual blades, because count these, okay. Because I've gotten used to it and I like it, and sometimes I think it's easier to use the dual blades than the bayonet. But by the end of the game, I will say I got really proficient at using the bayonet. So I can see why some people said, oh, well, the bayonet is OP. It is. It can be. I'm not going to say it is. It certainly can be. They're easy to upgrade. Same thing with the dual blades, and the rune blades. I have a set of rune blades, the Glutton's Eyes, that I got from Jose's boss battle. I didn't like the way they were initially, but again, by the end, I was loving the rune blades. You know, so it made me wish I'd sort of played with rune blades all along, although yeah, it did take me an hour or so to get used to them. I did, before I started Crimson Desert, started New Game Plus and Code Vein 2. You get to keep all of your weapons. You get to keep all of your blood codes. You get to keep your bequeath forme. And so you're moving through the game a lot faster because you're not stuck on bosses. And you can't really ever go straight to the boss battle because there's always these sub-quests in order to get to the boss. But you can bypass a lot of the side stuff. Like doing Noah's engraved sword thing again wouldn't make sense. Finding every item in the game doesn't make sense because once you level up all of your healing, even though you will continue to find the nectar things, the golden nectars, once you max out, you can't go beyond that. Same thing with the little blood thingies that strengthens how much health you get from each heal. There's a max number and it doesn't go beyond that. So when you do New Game Plus, you may continue to find them, but they're not going to be helpful. In New Game Plus, I think I'm at level 220 something. And yes, the bosses scale a bit, but I think I've outscaled them. So it's made everything a lot easier. Plus, I'm a lot more proficient at using the rune blades and the bayonet. And in one of the end parts of the game, you are picking up not blood codes. You do get blood codes. You get blood codes go up to S level. You get these boosters from this particular enemy type that you face at the end. Yeah, and when you get them, you should equip them immediately. They are the most powerful boosters in the game. You do not get to keep those if you go to New Game Plus. Now this prison smithy isn't something you can do anything with at this point. This area is really reserved for the time shift. The game doesn't really tell you that. Maybe it didn't expect you to explore all the way over here. There are items you can get, so I guess that's a good thing. But beyond those items, you can't really do anything in this little room until you get to the time shift. I found it odd because I found the little room and I was like, okay, it looks like I'm supposed to do something. On the map, it's marked, but there's nothing I can interact with. But that will change. So we'll come back here much later in the game. So now we're going to go back up to the upper cell block. And we're going to make our way to the solitary refinement cell. Yes, it's called solitary refinement, not confinement. But to get there, we obviously will have some more difficult enemies that we have to fight. So let's do that. So these two guys will fight each other. I don't actually think they ever kill one another. Maybe they do. Maybe one of them. Now, if you walk over there, they will come after you. All of a sudden, they'll forget whatever they're beefing about and come right after you. So let them do what they're doing. Because it's supposed to make life easier for you, but for me, it turned out that it didn't make life easier for me. This is another one where I've actually had to fight multiple times. I'm trying to remember.
Is something the matter?
Lavinia, I'm watching a fight. Leave me alone. So I figured while they're doing that, I would take advantage and come over here.
My strength is boundless.
Your enemies hidden out in these little crevices, so you have to be sort of careful about. See, my mistake was I came over here, and then these guys realized I was here, and they stopped their fighting and came after me. The good news is there's a mistle right here, which if I die, I know I'm close to run. Unlike, you know, some parts of the game where the run back is horrendous. There's another part of the prison where the run back was just outrageous. This is good. And then there's another one not too far away when we first entered the place. So there are two in pretty close proximity. So when we disrupted the fight, he had not yet killed the other guy. But the other guy didn't aggro on us. This one did. And you have to be careful, because if the other guy sees you, he will join the fight. Not that this big guy actually needs help. Ouch. Okay, good. I got poison on him. The one thing, you know, the dual blades, I got the materials I needed to turn it into a poison weapon, but it takes a while for the poison to build up on the boss enemies. On the little scrub enemies, it happens a lot faster. And then there's some bosses that just seem resistant to it. I mean, you sit there and you do it over and over and over again, and just nothing happens. But you can see the meter build up, and once it gets to the top of that meter, then it means that poison will be procced, and you can see how long it'll last as well, because you can see the meter getting smaller. So let's go grab whatever was here. Now my hope is that that other guy is so weak because of his fight that he's really not going to be a problem. Making sure that I can't get into any of these little rooms.
My strength is
Nope.
boundless.
He regained all of his health. So I guess his kite range, because if you run away from some enemies, depending on where you run to, it'll reset. And I guess in this particular case, it ended up resetting, but at least we only have to fight one of them. Now, that's the status effect. Because even if you block his hits, that status effect is going to show up. Doesn't last very long. Now, if you die here, both of them will be back. So you'll have to go through both those fights all over again. So to me, it's better to try to kite them so that you're only doing one at a time, since they're two tough enemies. Or at least enemies that are a little bit tankier than the ones we've been fighting. This one we've fought before.
We cannot have you dying.
You know, Lavinia, your little motivational speech doesn't really help. It would be better if you actually came out here and threw some spells around. Plus, you're like 8 feet tall, so you think you'd be able to fight. See, I'm not sure what the deal is, whether his shield is blocking my the stinger, or whether he's just absorbing it. He's just that tanky. Center myself as I'm getting my ass kicked. Thanks, Lavinia. Good coaching. And by the time I'm just beyond these two guys, I won't have any heals left.
My strength is boundless.
So I guess he's blocking. I see his shield did sort of take most of that. Alright, that was better. Yep. He's a little bit like the one we fought in that other area of the prison. Okay, well, now I have to fight them both again. Totally missed with my heavenly. So the one thing, ouch, about the bayonet early is knowing which of the four to use on it, or the skills. They're not all equal. I like the ones that sort of do the 3 shots as you back away. There's also one that does homing shots, which I used. Maybe it's in the last episode. Ouch. That uses ammo. This one does not. This uses the Ichor. So you never really run out. Well, I guess you could run out if you run out of Ichor. But the one that uses ammo, I guess you could. If you're wise, you would just switch back and forth, and then you'd have a lot more. But no one ever said I was wise. And the heavenly, that shot is really, really powerful against larger, slower bosses. Like, he didn't get hit by any of those, right? Not modified war. You know, but if it's a large, like the Metagan bosses, if it was one of those, because they actually jump around, but you can actually get that shot off more, and it'll get hit by multiple projectiles. These smaller enemies, unless you time it right, or unless they're stationary for a little while, you know, they can just walk right past it. And you don't really want that to happen, but, you know, I will say that it's not like you have a choice. Once you go into the firing animation, you're sort of stuck. It's not like you can make an adjustment on the fly. Yeah, come on out here next to the Mistral. Now, this guy, I don't think he ever comes all the way down the steps. And I have to be careful because the world has been reset and there are enemies in the room behind me. So I have to be really, really careful not to attract all of them. Because this guy is trying to push me into that room. The big guy, like I said, I don't think he comes all the way down the steps. And you got the little slime guys, which is great for just stealing Ichor. Yeah, the good thing about this, the big one, is he's very slow.
Can't go toe to toe.
Yeah, so he telegraphs his moves. He doesn't really do anything all that different. He's got the slam move. He's got a spin move. And that particular pound move will send a shockwave after you. I mostly missed that one. This would have been a good time for me to use the bayonet, because he's far enough away. I guess on the steps is not really good because the angle will cause most of my artillery to miss.
My strength is boundless.
Should get 1 or 2 more and he should be done. Now he's walking away. No, no, buddy, come back here. I don't want to have to do this fight again. Okay, I got 5 heals left. I don't want to reset the world because I don't want to fight them again. I just want to get beyond this little area. Hopefully I don't die before I get to the next part. Alright, so I think we cleared this side. We couldn't get into any of those rooms. This little alcove, we got the item that was there. So I think we're ready to move beyond this little space. Nope, we're not. This is the room. Where is that? It must be around the other side. Yeah.
Can't go toe to toe.
He's calling for help, but there's no help coming. Nope, no help coming for you, buddy. Okay, so there's another enemy in the next room. We can grab this. And that item is inside the room with another one of the big guys. Now, whether he can get out of that room or not is a different question. No, that door looks big enough for him to get out of. That looks like it is on the other side. Okay, so let's deal with this guy first. I'm gonna go with our trusty Statesman longbow. Get back here. I don't think he can. I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say I don't think he can actually kill me, but yeah, he can. I can get killed by any enemy in the game. He's the same kind of boss we fought before, except this one, I guess, will explode when he dies. I guess that's what that is. Oh, no, I guess he's a fire version of the previous one.
Center yourself.
I have to remember that. When you're having a bad time, you just say, center yourself. Go into Zen mode and you can defeat anything. Okay, he's got his little baton thing powered up.
Can't go toe to toe.
Okay, so I guess if he smashes it when it's powered up is when you get the fire AoE on the ground. If it's just regular, you don't get that AoE. I guess. We'll find out. And I guess our objective is that door beyond. Of course, after we grab that item. And that item. We have 2 items, and we have this guy before heading to the door. So yeah, this is the definition of cheesing. This is the very definition of cheesing, and I am not ashamed to say, if I can cheese a boss that's giving me trouble, I will cheese. The thing about this game is there aren't very many cheesable bosses. At least as far as I remember, none of the main bosses are cheesable. At least, I shouldn't say that, at least I haven't figured out how to do it. This is the shots that uses ammo instead of I-core. And as you can see, it does pretty decent damage. And I have a shit ton of ammo because I never use the ammo. Come on out. I'm gonna finish you off right here. This one, where did we pick up this for me? It might have been from Frederick. because he used something like this when Noah and I were fighting him. But this is the first time I'm using it because I've just started using a bayonet. So it's not something you can use without a bayonet or rifle. This was the item we saw from the other side. Okay, through the doorway we go. And we have another one.
My strength is boundless.
I have no ichor. Okay, this is like the guy we fought earlier when we entered this area. But he apparently has lost IQ points since he's just walking towards me as I fire off this weapon. That has been the easiest field boss fight I've had so far in this section. Okay, those are the doors we can't get into. We can open this up, which leads to the next section. Yeah, clearly Zenon is deep hidden in this prison. It's like, wow.
Here's another one. It's as if they're blocking our path.
Yeah, no shit.
Well,
She's talking
we'll
about
need to find all of Zenon's pathos.
She's talking about the pathos, right? So we have a couple of ways we can go. We know the way forward is there, so let's take a look around first. There's nothing. This is a rare occurrence. There's nothing in the room. That is very rare. Usually there's something that you can loot in there. So let's go ahead and do the pathos thing. Get a memory from Zenon.
This shockwave. It can't be. The seal gave out? Idris, even you couldn't hold it? I've no choice. In theory, it should work. And if all goes to plan, I'll be able to subdue the resurgence outright. This is my chance to prove it. A binding forma I can't break? Who? Devil! Of course, I should have guessed. Tell me, why does change frighten you so? So be it. Oppose me if you dare. I am Zenon Griffgoat, Harbinger of the Future!
Okay, so this is the way forward. So it looks like we're finally going to get to meet Zenon. This looks like, well, you know what? I don't want to speak too soon. It could be another boss battle coming up because every time you think you're there, you're not there. And there's that big round room that looks like it's a boss arena. But before we do that, let's go back and check out spaces that there's a squid head lady in there. This is something we want. Or do we want to just go to where Zenon is? I will admit it's been a long journey to get to him. And it was probably true for all the other heroes as well. I think Jose's was pretty long. guess I can go back and look at how many parts I did for each one. And I try not to cut anything out. So there was a lot of exploring in the last episode. So I knew I wanted to get to Zenon in this episode. So I didn't want to have 2 episodes of exploring his region of the game, and then not introduce you guys to Zenon. That wouldn't make any sense. So at least we're going to get to him. I sort of doubt seriously we're going to finish his quest line. And if we don't, then I know that we'll be starting the next episode off with the hero Zenon boss fight. I think I did that with the last hero. Okay, I'm just gonna stinger this guy to death just like I did the other one. Yeah, if you can get a charged stinger off, they always get knocked back. Oops. I just love how they knock you out of your animation, but you can't knock them out of theirs. Retro game. I guess that's a gift I can give to one of the characters. I'm guessing it wouldn't be for Lavinia, but I'm guessing it's for one of the characters. I don't know. I've gotten the gifts to Iris wrong. I've gotten the gifts to Lavinia right. She likes tea and perfume and stuff like that. Lou, I think the very first thing I gave her, she's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Same thing with Noah. So it's really hit and miss. And to be honest with you, I don't use a lot of the little booster things they give you in return anyway. Okay, this is a shortcut. So let's go back to this area. If you look at the little mini map, you see we're heading into a little circular area. Oh no, it's just a little circular area. All right, no big deal. I thought it looked like a boss area. Okay, it's definitely a boss area because it's the fog door. All right, let's do this.
This resting spot appears safe enough.
Solitary refinement cell. All right, I guess they're trying to refine our buddy Zenon.
No choice now but to fight back.
Okay, so I guess we have to defeat him to get to the big door behind him. So we've fought enemies like him before. There was one on the rooftop that gave me a lot of trouble. His moveset is just so weird.
Cannot have you dying here.
This is a little bit like what is that? Like the Bloodborne bosses. Like you really can't play those bosses ranged. It took me a while to figure that out, right? But you have to be close to them and fight them. They're all bigger bosses, like this guy's bigger. And so the idea is to get close or get behind them, and then you can do a lot of damage. So I have poison procced on him. So that's going to eat away some of his health. Not as much as you want, but it's going to eat away some. See, that's I healed, and he took away 2/3 of whatever I got from the heal. And I know they actually patched this game because of the complaints about when the enemy knocks you down, you don't have a chance to get back up. Because as soon as you try to get up, he hits you again. And so they added like 1/10 of a second or something like that to make it a little bit more balanced. And I do notice a difference. And Also, the heal thing was supposed to have improved as well, so maybe it has, but it's still pretty quick. You know, I mean, I don't feel like it's... I definitely don't feel like it's a nerf, but it's a little bit more fair. You can make the game difficult for no good reason, then I don't know why anyone would want to play it. This is a fun game. I mean, I will tell you, it's for anyone asking, I would definitely recommend this game. Well, Lavinia, if you were actually out here fighting, it would help versus your motivational speak. Trying to get poison on him again, but it's not happening. Yeah, you want to stay out of that red scream thing that he does. And you want to stay out of that too. And you want to stay away from his vortex. Now I got the slow on him, and I was able to get some hits in, even though I was stuck in the vortex. And now that I was gonna say he's gone because I got poison on him, so he wasn't gonna survive that. So that took multiple times as well. And I think the reason it took multiple times was because if you stay away from him,
looks to be an authorization card. In
he uses more of those.
One specially issued by Zenon himself.
He uses
granted them only to those he deemed
yeah. He uses more of the ranged attacks, like the red beams and things like that. And once it hits you, you really can't roll out of it.
I'm certain it will prove
so staying close and getting in on his side or behind him is probably the better way to go. Okay, so we have the pass. So now we can go and talk to Zenon. Let's grab this item. A fountain pen. See, something like that, I'm guessing it would be, it's classy, so you would think Lavinia or maybe Iris for her to write her reports. I don't know. One of them. Okay. Let's do this. Let's meet Zenon.
It is open now.
Okay, so we found his cocoon. That's always the first step. And so eventually we'll have to go back into the past to do some things for him before we get what we need to release the cocoon. That's been the way all of the other quests have worked.
Incredible. It's so calm. I've never seen pathos so stable.
Few were equal to the task of understanding Zenon, and even fewer still of matching him. He was a man of unique conviction and of great resolve. Most of all, he truly believed in the potential of his kith and kin. In that lone regard, even I must admit respect for him. You must now journey to the Insula Carcere of the past. But be wary of him. Zenon is an incredible man, and was known to be very persuasive. He may try to convince you to see things his way. Only remember this. Zenon belongs to a bygone era. Our duty is to the present one. No matter how compelling his arguments or how clever his rhetoric, I implore you to stay true to your mission. It is with pleasure that I shall await your return here. Good luck, and be careful.
I will rise to the occasion.
Okay, well the good thing is I don't have to have the ball and chain Lavinia around me anymore.
Pleasure.
So I can use well actually, I guess I'm going to get Zenon as a partner, right? That's the way I think that's the way it always works. We had Jose as a partner, we had Lyle as a partner, we had Holly as a partner, and now we'll have Zenon as a partner. But Lavinia, I mean, you get a blood code from her, and you can upgrade the blood code, which in a non-recorded section, you know, I probably would do. If you're just traveling and exploring and fighting little scrub enemies, it's easy to do. The other thing is, from one of the other blood code upgrades, you get a booster that allows you to improve the proficiency with which you get blood code, with which you upgrade blood codes. So if you're struggling with upgrading your blood code, if you equip that, it happens much faster. And even for the blood codes you don't like or you don't want to use, I would do it anyway, only because you get boosters from each one.
Here we are, Insula Carcere in the past. Zenon's cell should be located just over there. Let's go.
Okay, let's go meet the great Zenon himself. All right, level 88, not bad. You notice I don't really pay much attention to what levels up when you level up because I don't have any control over it, right? I mean, when you level up, and the game decides where to put the points. So it doesn't make sense for me to worry about it. I mean, ultimately, it improves.
Zenon sent for you? And keep your distance from me.
Ultimately, you improve anyway when you do those upgrades, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're like, I want more dex, you can equip boosters that will give you more dex. If you want more strength or more might, you have boosters that will do that as well.
State your business. Goodness, look at the time. I'm off duty now. As far as I'm concerned, there was no one here.
Yeah, I guess Zenon rules his little refinement cell.
To my Zen chamber. I would hardly call it spacious, but it is blissfully free of noise, perfect for letting one's thoughts percolate.
Okay, this is going to be a different kind of side quest.
Perk up those cochlears. That's the rhythm of hope! Come, brethren, stand
Oh my
up
God.
and follow.
He's got a whole Broadway routine going on. It's so funny.
By darkness, joy slipping away. Feast on a vein and let ichor rain. Paint a new dawn on the day. Pledge your life and let your soul fly. Raise your voice and unleash a war cry. Don't let your heart be tarnished until it's lifeless as a grave. Pick it up, make it shine as a gilded blade. Let's walk through the fire, yes, and transcend our limited lives, yes. The fear and pain we face endlessly, in the flames we share it all. Let's reach glory together. Looks like you're still not convinced. Do not fear. Join me and the world will forever change. Yes, a golden morrow is just beyond the horizon. Dance, brethren! Stand up and follow. Together for a better tomorrow. In a world covered by darkness, joy slipping away. Feast on a vein and let ichor rain. Paint a new dawn on the day. Pledge your life and let your soul fly. Raise your voice and unleash a war cry. And when the golden sun rises, we'll know that our day has come. Tomorrow is written today.
Notice those ladies in black are modeled after his wife. Those are the vendors that you see at Magmal.
Isn't she beautiful? Modeled after my late wife, Sabine.
Yeah.
She is the latest addition to my Dragom line. A worthy tribute to her beauty. Surely it inspires you to wax eloquent about her majesty, yes? Please, join me in my exultation! A fair appraisal, to be sure. However, before her true perfection, my creation is a pale imitation! Nevertheless, any praise for my wife warms my heart. How about some tea? I have the very finest you'll find on Magmel Island. Now then, I don't believe we've met before, and I do love a mystery. Here, show me your Zenon pass. Ooh, well. Yes, this is a genuine article personally issued by me. Possessing it is proof of our friendship. Furthermore, it signifies your strength, and I can always use strength. I shall see to it that you're granted free access to most of these grounds. How, you ask? It's quite simple, really. A bit of charm and a soupçon of tact. All the guards have become good chums of mine. In light of our friendship, broad though my definition may be, they're only too happy to grant me certain, much appreciated favors. One can never have too many friends, can one? Now, shall we discuss the mutual perks of our new covenant? I guarantee you'll relish the benefits. No, this must be... Quickly! Get down!
Oh, good. You've come too. This time felt most dire. It all happened so suddenly. But if I'm not mistaken, the shockwave we felt was the rupture of progenitor Idris's seal. The resurgence will soon be unleashed upon this world. The wrath of the upheaval. It is almost upon us.
Simply perfection. An exquisite blend, if I do say so myself.
How on earth did he get in there?
Oh, don't mind me. Please feel free to continue your conversation.
How did...
A shared mental construct, yes? This is most fascinating.
How did you get in here? It shouldn't be possible.
What's that you said? Shouldn't be possible? I'm afraid the endless abyss of possibility eludes you, my dear. Well, 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 well! Are you perchance?
You know who I am?
Oh, pardon the interruption. Really, you must
She's-
mind me.
He's related
Now, I'm
to
most keen to get
progenitor
more closely
Idris
acquainted with you
in
both.
some
We
way.
were discussing the details
Don't quite know
of our
how.
partnership, if you recall.
They don't do a
Well,
lot of
I happen
explaining
to own
about
several
Lou
labs on the
in this
frontier.
game.
They're experiencing complications on account of the shockwave. It's really quite inconvenient. Couldn't have come at a worse time and all that. Agree to get them functioning again, and I shall gladly lend my hand in securing that which you both seek. What say you?
All right. Agreed. We will help you.
A wise
Not like we
decision.
have a
We
choice.
can discuss the details outside. For now, I bid you adieu.
Okay.
I must admit, it's shocking coming face to face with a hero in here, let alone Zenon. It remains to be seen how much we can trust him. But we're lucky he agreed to work with us so quickly. At any rate, let's see what he wants us to do.
All right. Let's do this. We are officially now beginning Zenon's quest. An hour into the video.
We haven't much time. Let's get straight to the point. I have 3 laboratories, one each in the Sunken City, Undead Forest, and Corroded Scar. They are quite critical to me. My surrogates are normally tasked with their operation, you see, but the recent shockwave has caused them to malfunction. It's become quite a pain in the derriere. Left alone for too long, my reams upon reams upon reams of scientific findings may well be lost. And that, my dear new friend, is precisely where you come in. Don't worry about the technicalities of scientific work yourself. I'll simply warp to your coordinates once you're there. Then we can retrieve my malfunctioning surrogates. Did you follow all that? Yes? Good. Delightful! Then off you go now. Quick, quick. Time waits for no one.
Okay. So we have to go to a lab in each of the 3 places we've been.
Quickly make your way to
Yes.
my 3 labs. You'll find one each in the Sunken City, Undead Forest, and Corroded Scar.
All right. So we'll go there.
There are other matters I must attend to first, but I will teleport to you when you arrive on site. Good
Okay.
luck.
Cool. So going there and then. Okay, she doesn't speak. But her cheek twitches. And this thing doesn't speak. But he tried to kill me outside. So we'll head to each of the 3 labs. And I'm guessing at those labs, he will help us destroy his surrogates, who must be guarding something in the lab that we need to unseal his cocoon, I guess. So we're going to do that. Does anyone talk to me in here?
Don't you worry about
okay.
us. We're surgically enhanced.
Okay, I don't know what Zenon was doing to those people. Okay, here's the first lab.
On to the next one.
Oh, we teamed with Noah too, by the way, if you're wondering why is he here.
You feel that?
We were doing a little bit of exploring
Excellent work.
with
I knew
Noah.
you could be trusted. My surrogate should be located in the lab's core.
So now,
One thing to keep in mind. A system's malfunction will trigger their self-defense mode. Perhaps a misstep on my part. All intruders will be shot on sight. No questions asked. That includes us. So be ready for a combat fracas most ferocious.
all right,
Of
so
course, I'm here to help if you'll kindly open up and lend me your back, yes?
all right, we'll see if he's all talk or whether he can actually fight.
Oh, my word, how homely. to let my superior mind chisel years off your life.
Oh my
Now,
God.
onward!
But I will say this, that, and we have a blood code. Each of the heroes have been pretty good in a battle. I mean, Jose was good, Lyle was good, Holly was good as well. So, and I'll probably be using them near the end of the game, each of them near the end of the game as well. Plus we have to do the time shifts. They're shorter, so maybe there'll be a couple of time shifts in one episode. Okay, so I'm guessing that our job here is to work our way through these labs, get to the surrogate, who will likely be the final boss of each of these labs, and then move on to the next one. And then after that, go back to the cocoon. No, go back to the present and unlock the cocoon. Since this is all taking place in the past. And yes, it's like Zenon can hold his own. Well, maybe. I don't know what he's swinging at over there. Oh, I like that little fireball thing. Okay, not too bad. I was just about to say, I'm going to let Zenon handle that. Okay, so when he actually lands a hit, it actually does real damage. Versus his whiffs, which are probably no worse than my whiffs. Okay, so glowing haze. Nice shadow on the wall. Yeah, I'm not sure what that was. There are enough enemies around the corner. There we go. To make you want to be careful going around the corners, which I definitely was not. That was my bad. That was silly of me. Okay. So we're going to continue to work our way through here, and I'm guessing towards the boss of this area. I'm guessing we'll know we were there either because we're going to end up with a revive point or a missile. Or fog door. Any of those things. Or all of those things. Actually, you wouldn't have a revive point and a missile, so... I don't know whether there's a map jammer in here, and I guess maybe there is. So we got stuff upstairs, stuff downstairs. We have a little hallway off to the right up there, and then one directly across from us. So let's see if we can convince, well, I was going to see if we can convince this guy to come over, but apparently he's got really bad eyesight. Okay, he finally sees us, and he has a shotgun. Okay, that's the Heavenly Strike. Again, he's a small enemy, so I think 2 of those shots hit him. I think there are 5 total. And the rest did not. So you wanna position it so that you get the most number of hits. And if you have a status procced on it as well, those hits will also add to the status effect. So in this particular case, poison. Okay, so we have another golden nectar and a squid head. And of course, that shot missed totally.
A mask wearer. This does not bode well.
Well, my shot did a lot of damage. So that was, I was going to say, I didn't see. That enemy must have been off to the right in this room, and I was only paying attention to the squid lady who was off to the left.
This nectar is invaluable to us revenants. We should at least take a sample for study.
Yep, got it. Okay, so across the way looks like another area that we're going to. First of all, I have to figure out how to get there and then explore that section as well. And I gotta believe there's a map jammer in here since there's no layout in this place. Okay, so we grab this item and then we'll go through that little hallway.
Wrenching paths. Which way will you go?
Yeah. Alright, let's take the right side. That's right. Got us in water, which doesn't allow us to move very fast. Let me get to the steps out of my way, Zenon. You're gonna get me killed in the water. He's one of those 10 swing enemies. He's wrecking my partner. Oh my god, that's funny. The good thing about the partners is they can't die, so while you have a tendency to run back and help them out, the reality is you don't really need to do that. They'll be fine. Lots of loot. Glowing haze. Upgrade material. Okay, so we're gonna go over to the other side. I don't know whether that's how to get to the stuff over there, but it's the only other option we have. Okay. This is a little scrub enemy here. Wake up. Down here sleeping in the water. Zenon, buddy, I can't see through you. I'm taking a guess that that's where the guy is. I guess he's really trying to protect me, so I shouldn't complain too much. They all do that. Licorice, or Monica, was doing that when she was my partner in Holly's area. It was so annoying because she just blocked me. Noah does it. All of them do it. So I guess I shouldn't complain because they're trying to defend me. but it is annoying when you're trying to shoot at something. Okay, so can we get a sneak attack on the squid lady? The only thing about this is it does propel you back quite a distance. And in Holly's world, I used it near a railing, and it threw me over the edge and killed me. So you have to be careful where you're using that one. The same thing with the bat jail, because it propels you back, and it doesn't. You're not protected from going over the rail or the edge of something if you're on the edge when you use it. So you have to be really, really, really careful. I was gonna say, who is he talking to? There's usually an enemy around whenever one of your partners says something. This is the wrong space to be fighting this guy. Although Zenon seems to be doing a bit of damage on him. I'm over here just hiding. Oh, not anymore. Yeah, Zenon's he's putting in the work. You know, I have to say he's he's doing a pretty good job. It's kind of hard to tell which of the partners are tankier. You know, I thought Noah was pretty tanky, but then he was an early partner.
There's someone looking down on us.
Yep. Thanks for the hint. We're gonna grab this stuff before we go up there and take care of whoever is shooting at us. So yeah, I don't know. If I had to do a ranking of the partners, I would definitely put Lavinia. Oh, there's the map jammer. I would definitely put Lavinia last. And I would put Craig second to last. The reason I say that is because he, at least, when the enemies show up, there's a shield that sort of shows up around you, so you know that there's an enemy nearby. So I would definitely rank them last and second to last. Or second to last and last. First, it's a toughie because Lou is the first partner, so she tends to be a favored because she was your first partner. And Noah was the second one. His dialogue I like better. He has a sense of humor. All right, we're at the first surrogate, I suspect. There's a missile, and then there's the fog door.
Perhaps you'd like to hear one of my lectures while we rest.
Nope, we don't have time for that. So I don't know, it's a tough one. You know, maybe in the final episode I'll give my list. I have to think about it a little bit. Or maybe the rankings will change by the time we get to the end. Alright, so we're not going to change blood codes. So we're just, now that we reset, we're just going to go in and fight. Oh, they're basically Zenon clones. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so I'm guessing that each of these might have a different element that we have to contend with. This one is definitely fire. Yeah, I don't like the idea that they can just power through my jails. Ouch. Just as I was about to say, well, the good news is he aggroes on Zenon instead of me, but I guess it depends on Depends on whether I'm close to him or not. But Zenon does get... Oops, I don't... silly me, I ran out of Ichor. See, this is a case where I think that maybe... Yikes. Maybe the bat jail would be helpful, but the problem is if you're not close enough, because it propels you back, I'm not sure that I actually get much of the benefit from it. Okay, at least we have a critical. See, he powered through that too, even though I was using Idris's axe. Okay, we're doing pretty good damage. So he's not as... I shouldn't say that before I actually defeat him. I was gonna say he's not as bad as I thought it would be. Plus, Zenon is doing a really good job. That wasn't so bad. That wasn't bad at all. That's a rare one-time defeat.
Job. Even I could only have done a modicum better. With the help of my surrogates, I'm able to run multiple experiments in parallel. The bulk of my efforts, however, are dedicated to researching the resurgence. I've tasked my surrogates with guarding my findings, hence the stringent security. Idris's seal has begun to deteriorate. Thus, we can't lose my work. Onwards! You must make your way to my next lab.
Okay. So the next lab is in the Corroded Scar. Level 90. I'm guessing by the end of the game we may be maybe 130 or so, maybe 120, at least 120. Because even though it takes more haze to level up, you seem to be getting a lot more haze from the enemies that you encounter at this part of the game. Okay. Hey, buddy. Go to sleep. So, yeah, finding the hidden lab in the Corroded Scar is a pain in the neck, but it was one of these little areas that had a hidden elevator that you wouldn't necessarily know it by looking in there. You sort of discover it as you explore the area, and you know, where does this lead? And all of a sudden you realize it's a whole different area that you couldn't see on the map. I cut out the amount of time it took me to get here, because there wasn't a mist of, like, we didn't have that mist of before, or mistal before. I don't know why I want to call it mist of. We didn't have that before, so we couldn't just come back here because we couldn't get in here the first time. The same is going to be true in the next area.
Can we go faster? Idris tried to buy time, but we
Dude,
need a permanent
we're going as fast as we can.
some way to quell the resurgence for
I mean,
good.
you can teleport all over the place. I can't. Well, I guess I can if I fast travel. But
You look
I went to the
intrigued.
closest fast
There's a
travel
spark
point to
of
get here.
curiosity
It still
in
took me
your
about
eye
20
that's
minutes to get
ever
here.
so adorable. But first, we have my surrogates to collect. You know the drill. Forward march, comrade!
Okay.
Let's rest. Data pile.
Alright, so let's find the surrogate. Okay, so these do have map jammers as well. Because in the last one, it seemed like we didn't find a map jammer until we were deep in the middle of the lab. Oh, actually close to near the end of the lab. We weren't even in the middle. That may be true in this one as well. You'll notice I'm using the bayonet a lot more, although I'll probably switch the forme that I'm using on it. Because the pushback on this is a little bit too pushy. And I don't need it to be. So they're different. I'm going to always keep Heavenly Strike on, because eventually we end up with bigger enemies that it'll work on. The power shot takes a long time to get off. It's good. It also uses a lot of ichor, so you have to sort of be a little bit careful about that. But you have options. That's the good news, is you do have options with that one. Okay, this is a little platformy. We got the little slime creatures down there. I'm using my ichor. I don't really need to use ichor for these. These aren't very strong enemies. Okay, grab this item. I have a feeling this is not going to be fun. Buddy, you block him away. Although I like your little Technicolor cape. Alright. We will drop down here. Good. We have an enemy off to one side. And none to the other side. And I guess I have to be careful. Wow, it's a long way down. To be careful if they don't knock me off of this. Because I'm guessing, well, I did not mean to jump on here. But that's okay. I needed to get that item anyway. Okay. Well, that was kind of tense. Okay, now we have to hop over. I am really bad at platforming. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Like I said, I am really bad at platforming. And of course, of course, Zenon then follows me. Yeah, I had to work my way all the way back here. So, looks like the key is take your finger off of the button once you jump, because then the character will stop. If you keep the controller engaged, you move a little bit, just enough to sort of knock you over the edge. I guess Zenon must have dropped all the way to the bottom again. But like I said, he can teleport back. Okay, is there a... Okay, there's a walkway, but not where I am, and walkway is off to my right. That was a waste. I knew that wasn't going to really do a lot of damage. I don't know why I did that. Now he's under us. That was not a smart move. That was doofus. That was not smart at all. So you do that, and then all of a sudden, now he's... I guess if I get far enough away, maybe he'll de-aggro and walk back to that center thing. Well. And Zenon is wilding out. Yeah, he's walking back. So the key is to drop down and fight him, since I don't have any ichor anyway. I guess I could use the bayonet with the ammunition that I have. I guess that would do it as well. See, the thing about I'm using bat now, right? I know that there's a wall behind me, so it's okay to use bat here. But if I was on one of those, what are you doing? If I was on one of those walkways down there and I used bat, it would shove me right off. Okay, so let's go over here. Where is he? Oh, he's just chilling over there. Okay, I don't know why he's... I guess he is seriously de-aggroed. Because he's just standing there looking at the wall. And my fear is if we leave him alive, he's just going to come after us again. Oh, he's not looking at the wall. He's looking straight ahead, which is even weirder. No, he was looking at the wall. Okay, so we got that. We have quite a few more of these. Buddy, you're going to get me killed up here. We got quite a few more of these little drop-offs. I see there's an item. I'm trying to see whether there are any enemies before I drop down there. Yes, there's enemies there. Now if I drop off on this side, can I actually go to the other side? Whoa, that was close. Okay. See, like I said, he can teleport back. Okay, this guy's just gonna stand there, so we're gonna just bat him to death. I'm up against the wall, so I'm really not that worried. Okay, so they weren't on the same. I wasn't sure whether I was looking at them on the same level, or whether one was above and one was below. But it looks like one was on this level and one is below. And it's still death if I drop down there. Okay, so this is going to be a hop. Very nice. And we got this guy. This could be I think this could be just a drop off. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have enough ichor to do that. I don't know why I keep doing that. Definitely not enough ichor to really eliminate any enemy. At least not using that particular one. There's the ice chunk that takes like half the health. And there's the fireball, which I don't have yet. I still don't have. Oh, the item wasn't even on this level. It's the level below. Okay, so Zenon is using the hounds, which I've tried using. I don't really like them. I mean, if you're a real up-close and personal melee fighter, then it works really, really well. If you try to be ranged, it doesn't work as well. But by the end of the game, I will have upgraded all of them to their max level, which is 20. Because you're going to end up with enough materials to do that. It's not like you can use them for something else, so you may as well. Same thing with the bequeath forme. They max out at 5. And if you explore as much as I do in these games, you'll have the materials to upgrade all of them to level 5. I think it's the heart remnants that do it for the bequeath forme. Okay, this one looks like it's a solid floor. There's a big enemy down there, but I'm trying to see whether or not he can shove me off anywhere. I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it looks like a solid. Actually, I shouldn't say that because no, I see on the edge that you can be shoved off. Which makes it really dangerous for me to be using this particular forme, but... Oh, he fell. Interesting. But he didn't die because I didn't get his haze. And my little baby bats are still bothering him. Alright, let's grab these items, and then I guess we don't have a choice but to drop down, because there's no place else to go up here anyway. Looks like we still have a couple of levels, actually. So there's this one, and then there's something below. Yeah, I should have dropped off the other side to get him. Although there's no item over there, so I don't really need to do that. Unless he drops an item. Let's see, do I have anything that can reach over there? I only have 5 ichor left. Okay, that was the last of my let's try this. And I got one more. And not enough. And I got nothing. Okay. So all of that, and I have to jump over there anyway. Too bad we can't send our partner over in advance. I mean, unless he swings and jumps off. But no, the game is preventing him from doing that. How nice. Good. I was going to say, I hope I get him before he goes into his 10 swing thing. Okay, so we need to jump back to the other side to drop. I think we do. Yeah, we need to go back to the other side to get that item and take out that enemy. And then it looks like one more drop down and we'll be at the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, see, he's using the hound, which is good for me. He's giving me ichor no matter what. Alright, grab this. Dude, you're standing on the item. Okay, we have a big enemy below. But he doesn't even see us. Ouch. Yeah, the other thing is that you can actually use the bayonet like a little sword too. So it's not just So it's not just that you fire armament from it. You can also use it if you run out of bullets. You can also use it as a melee weapon. So I guess it probably acts more like a single hand sword, I guess, maybe. Okay, we have another missile, and we have the map jammer. Here we go. See, why put the map jammer at the very end of the area? I don't really understand that. I mean, I guess it's possible that one of the other NPCs will give you a quest that requires you to come back to these places. That's possible. But if you put the map jammers at the very end, you know, so like, okay, what's the point? But I'm guessing that maybe that's why they did it this way. Level 91. I guess. Okay, so now we have another one of his surrogates. This one apparently is shock or electricity based. First one was fire. That was that super potent shot. It does a lot of damage. You get 3,500 damage or something like that with it. But it, like I said, it costs you a lot of ichor. Yeah, well, 3,000, not 3,500. And it's slow. So you can use it, but you should use it when he's otherwise occupied, not chasing you around the arena. The electricity things, you can dodge a lot of them if you see them coming. This is a power shot. Yeah, you can do a lot of damage with it. So if I'm really, really smart, I would not get hit by that. But I would just spam this. Because Zenon is actually giving me enough ichor. Well, not now. But he uses his jail. He's giving me pretty decent ichor right now. So I can either use Heavenly Strike or I can use the Power Shot. The Power Shot's too slow. He's getting me in the corner. Got you. And this will give me ichor as well. So it gave me 7. I started with 3. Okay, well that's it for him. But it didn't look like slow worked on him, but it doesn't really matter. He was easier than the first one. The fire guy was more difficult.
Secured. Color me impressed. I'll deign to call upon you more in the future.
Well,
as a token
right
of my
back at you.
confidence, it's time I filled you in on my findings to date concerning the resurgence phenomenon. Notebooks and pencils out, please, because first, a lesson on Revenant history is in order. As you know, Revenants are blessed with prodigious lifespans. We can live hundreds or even thousands of years with an ease that belies our age. Nevertheless, a choice group, known as the nigh-immortal progenitors, left their indelible mark upon history. I know it's splitting fine hairs by human standards, but surely you can grasp life everlasting trumps a few millennia? Naturally, this begs the question. Just what exactly separates progenitors from modern-day Revenants? My findings pointed to a single historical juncture when Revenants inexplicably became mortal. Even the oldest Revenants began dying off after a few millennia. Technically, dying isn't the right way to put it. A restriction was imposed on their lifespan. Alas, that delightful cliffhanger is all we have time for now. But remember this. Eventually, all Revenants came to be born with a predetermined lifespan. And this was no act of nature.
Okay. A little bit more lore. And now, off to the final hidden lab. And that will be in the Undead Forest. Okay. So we are in an area that was almost impossible to get to. I ended up having to scale the side of a mountain to get here. And actually had to do it again to get back here. We were here earlier during Holly's quest. But this wasn't open to us. So once again, we couldn't activate this missile because it wasn't available.
The
Now if
final
we have to
lap.
come back,
You've done
we
well,
have a missile we
traversing
can come
so
back
much of
to.
the frontier. I've been observing you very closely. You've convinced me your potential will be crucial in times to come. Now, let us conclude this final step. Once the deed is done, I have something important to give you. Perhaps you'd like to hear one of my
Okay, I can already see the level of fuckery we're gonna have to deal with those guys inside. Yep. I can see it already. Jesus, I'm guessing we don't really need to kill that. We can just avoid being killed by it. Okay, we'll start off below, grabbing all the loot that we can find, and then we'll go back up, make our way across to get to the progression part of this.
I beg your pardon. I shall be at your side momentarily. Not today. Nice try. Nice try. Nice try. Not today.
Okay, we've upgraded his blood code. Actually upgraded, we've reached full proficiency of his blood code, which means he'll give us, ouch, he'll give us another one whenever we get a break. And this is a pretty balanced blood code, by the way. Actually, I actually like it because of that balance. The music is still, I guess, because the enemy up above. Is there enemy below? We're gonna scrounge everything we can find. Oh no, there are enemies below. But we're gonna scrounge the area at the bottom before we work our way at the top, because we know if we die up there, we don't have to come back down below, because we would have gotten everything down here. And the enemy up above with the turrets doesn't always target me down here. He might want to go for this chest over here. Let's see. Ruin leaf. All right. Yeah, he's not. I guess he can't. He may be directly above us, so he can't really see where we are. Okay. One more item. I think we're all clear. That's my haze over here from dying in a previous attempt. Yeah, if anyone makes it through this little section in one try, I have to applaud them. It's very, very, very annoying, because initially you think you have to kill the turret beast, but you don't. Did I miss something? Yeah, I did. You don't have to. In fact, I don't think it's impossible. I just think it's very difficult to do from being on high, where you can easily be knocked off, even if you take care of all the other enemies. That thing has a laser. It has a Gatling gun. It has the little missiles. I mean, it's just too many things for you to have to avoid, all of which has the potential for knocking you off. You're not going to die if you get knocked off. You'll just end up down here. But at least clearing the bottom part means I don't have to... Ouch! Damn. Okay, that wasn't very fair. But then again, I was sort of slow walking my way up the ladder. Yeah, that should have been move as fast as I can to get up here. Alright, as fast as I can move. Instead of just chilling and taking my time. Okay, so these little wall thingies is how you're supposed to make your way to the door off to the left. But of course we want to, okay, well he got knocked down. We're going to grab as many of the items up here as we can. There's not very many. There's an item where he is, which I am definitely not going to try to get. I don't know whether there's an item off to the right hand side, but there's this item to the left. And I tried to see how much damage I can do. 69 is not a lot of damage. And I don't have enough I-core to stand here and, you know, do 69 damage every time thinking that I'm going to actually defeat this thing. And I don't have anything. I guess if I got closer I could do more damage, but then he would see me. And I struggle with this enemy in the open world as well. And I defeated probably 4 or 5 of them, but not all of them. Definitely not all of them. The very first one I encountered, I never defeated. One was a mini boss that I had to defeat. One was blocking a highway that I ended up defeating. The one inside of one of the dungeons I didn't defeat either. So there are quite a few I haven't defeated, but I've defeated some. But like I said, it just takes way too much of your resources to try to defeat them. The goal is to get to that door. I want to get that item, but I don't know whether it's worth. Because if you die, you end up having to fight all of them again. Actually, that's not true. You don't have to fight the ones at the bottom. Unless your haze is at the bottom, but it shouldn't be. It should be at the top. Because if you just fall off, you're not going to die. But if you get killed by him, your haze will be up top. Oops. And that's the danger of using this gun on a ledge. Sorry, Zenon. My bad. I knew that. I did it anyway. Oh, you're the guy we knocked down here. Yeah, he's the guy that we knocked down. Dude, you didn't even help with that guy. He could have killed me. Okay, so we will find our way back to the ladder, climb back up. There should be only the turret enemy up there. There should be no other enemies up there. I think we took care of all of them. That last guy was on the far side of the arena. And to be honest with you, we could have just left him. Ouch. We could have just left him alone. Okay, we got 5 heals left. Okay, nope. Sorry, there was one more. Okay, so we can grab. Let's see if we can't. So we can grab. I guess after he fires off a volley, I should be able to. Oh, right now he's keyed in on Zenon. Okay, we want to make our way across. Okay. Whew. That was a pain in the neck getting over here. And there's another room full of them with another one of those guys. See, he has an item behind him, a purple item, which means it's valuable, but is it sort of life-changing valuable? Probably not. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go into this other room where we have to deal with the same kind of baloney. We have a squid head, which we're going to bring over because we don't want to fight her on a ledge. We have an enemy off to the left who's walking down the middle of the... is he walking or he's just standing there? Okay, so that wasn't so difficult. We have that enemy over there. We have the turret guy. And looks like our path to get to the door and there's a map jammer over there, which we can't reach. Oh, maybe we can. We can reach him. We should be able to reach the map jammer. Okay, well the good news is he's coming over here, so we don't have to go over there to fight him. Okay, so we're going to continue to work our way around. There's an item to the left of that turret thing we're not going to try to get. We want to get this guy. Hate fighting them up here. We're going to get this guy, we want to get the map jammer, and we want to get the door. Although I'm guessing that's where the boss is. Okay, so at least he's not too difficult. So we'll wait for the laser to finish. One over here. Oh my god. Okay. So I worked my way back here. Oh my god. Some of the deaths in this particular episode have been my own carelessness. I was like, I ran right off the edge. I read, pay attention to what you're doing. Oh my god, am I gonna get killed again? No. Okay. Jeez, why are they making it so difficult? And why did I die when I fell down? Oh, because I'm in a different room. In the very first room, you wouldn't die. You would just land at the bottom. Give me my haze. Let's jump. Let's do this. Let's make it to this little barrier here. And we have another enemy. I don't know whether I want to fight you up here. I just want to get to the door. You follow me to the door, and then we can fight over there. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, now I'll fight you. Okay. Jeez. Alright, and we're gonna go and grab the map jammer. Yeah, I was just thinking, can his lasers reach me? Yes, they can. Alright, so we're gonna do this, and then we're getting the hell out of here. Interesting, his lasers can reach, but his little turret guns can't. That's odd. Okay, well, I guess it can't go through the fence, through the railing, which is a little crazy. Okay, we're gonna take the ladder. And there is the missile, and it will lead to the third and final of his surrogates.
I shall be at your side momentarily.
Thank you. Alright, what do you have? What is this? Ice. Okay. So fire, electricity, and ice. Ouch. We did a lot of damage with the that super blast shot. Ow, 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 ow. Wow.
See if you can dodge this.
Well, it definitely does stun lock you when he uses that. I totally whiffed on that. Yes. Alright, now I'm being a little careless here. Jeez. Why? Zenon really comes back quickly compared to the other partners. I mean, he was only gone for like 5 seconds. Whereas the other ones, seems like you have to wait much, much longer. Maybe that's just one of the benefits of his blood code. Okay, it was too soon with that for me. Gotcha that time. Okay, that's it. Actually, he wasn't that bad. Actually, I guess the first one was the worst one.
All of my research material is now accounted for. 1,000 thanks, my friend. Now, I believe we ended our last lesson on the resurgence prematurely. Let us rectify that. You recall how I said a Revenant's lifespan is predetermined? But why? To what end were they mortalized? Well, I struck upon a revelation! As the Revenant population grows, the bloodborne powers of each individual are incrementally stimulated! The more our numbers grow, the more each individual's powers swell. But each vessel can only house so much energy in reserve. Soon the power corrupts our flesh, eventually bursting forth into the world! That is the Resurgence's true nature. A cataclysm triggered by a population overload. An end for our time. I suspect that the progenitors discovered this truth ages ago. Naturally, they were forced to devise a countermeasure of some kind. Thus, they artificially limited our lifespans. To avert the resurgence, they constrained our Revenant population growth by force. Give me your Zenon pass.
Okay, I'm guessing this is how we will release his the seal in his cocoon.
I've updated its credentials. You now possess the highest level of clearance. Well, highest next to me, I suppose. Strangely enough, I issued a pass of the same number to one of the servants that was in my chamber. How odd that you should share the same exact one as they. I can't have issued the same code twice, nor could it be a forgery. And there's no
The only
way
one
for
who had the
you,
code was
our
Lavinia,
outsider, to have
and
stolen
she
it.
wouldn't be a servant of his.
Ergo, 2 copies of the same pass do indeed exist, albeit with one infinitesimal difference. That being yours shows nearly a century's worth of wear and tear. I'm certain now, more certain than ever before, that your shared potential will be positively integral to my vision for the future. Now, hold out your hand. Ha! Whoop! Whoop! Ah!
I guess he's now going to be summonable.
Whew. Fancy that. I'm outdone myself. Take this. You've certainly earned it. If you find yourself in need, simply call.
Nice.
My powers are at your disposal.
Very nice.
Now, if you'll excuse me, science calls! The research you helped me recover is all out of sorts and needs to be recompiled from scratch.
I like his character. It's
Never.
pretty funny character.
I'll forge your potential into it. Put your best foot forward, and don't give in to despair. Farewell!
Okay, and so with that,
Zenon Griffgoat. What a tempestuous character.
indeed,
At any rate, we should discuss our next steps.
we are wrapping
Please
things
find
up.
me at a missile.
Thank you for joining me in episode number 12 of Code Vein 2. We'll see you in episode 13. We're going to do uploads for moving forward for at least a short while. We'll do uploads on Tuesday and Sunday with Crimson Desert on Friday. All right. Take care. See you guys soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.